Hello everyone, we are the tourism students from the University of the East, Manila, and for today's video, we will share with you what we've learned for the whole semester in our online classes. I will be sharing with you the topic Tourism and Culture. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, tourism and culture is from the definition of cultural tourism, which they defined as a type of tourism activity in which the visitor's essential motivation is to learn, discover, experience, and consume the tangible and intangible cultural attractions and products in a tourism destination. These attractions and products relates to a set of distinctive materials, intellectual and spiritual, and emotional features of a society that encompasses arts and architecture, historical and cultural heritage, culinary heritage, literature, music, creative industries, and the living cultures with their lifestyles, value systems, beliefs, and traditions.
According to TED Talk, intangible cultural heritage is a living culture and dynamic traditions. Intangible cultural heritage is an important factor in maintaining the cultural diversity in the face of growing globalization. The importance or value of intangible cultural heritage is not the cultural manifestation, but rather the wealth of knowledge and skills that is transmitted through it from one generation to next. It also develops our capacities, and we are given the possibility to share knowledge and participate in our communities. As a student, I think the best way to preserve the intangible cultural heritage is to integrate the indigenous knowledge system into our formal education curriculum. Because after all, through the help of intangible cultural heritage, it connects us with the past and it connects us to the real world.
The Philippines is one of the richest countries that may be subject to heritage tourism. The UNESCO heritage sites in the Philippines includes the Bataha Reef National Marine Park. It is a unique example of a atoll reef with a very high density of marine species. The site is an excellent example of a pristine coral reef. Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. The Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park features a spectacular limestone karst landscape with its underground river. The river is unique because it flows directly into the sea, and its lower portion is subject to tidal influences. Rice terraces of the Philippine Cordilleras. The 2,000-year-old terraces were carved into the mountains of Ifugao by ancestors of the Batat indigenous people. Known as the Eight Wonders of the World, the terraces were carved with only simple tools and bare hands. Historic town of Bigan. The 16th century town of Bigan is an exceptionally intact and well-preserved example of a European trading town in East and East Asia. Its architecture reflects the fusion of cultural elements from the Philippines, China, and Europe.
It is important to protect our Filipino heritage because it keeps our integrity as a people. Filipino culture and its heritage reflect and shape values, beliefs, and aspirations, thereby defining people's national identity. Creating an awareness campaign to educate community would be a great help to conserve all of this national heritage and the wealth of knowledge and skills that is transmitted through it from one generation to the next. Let's help one another, and not just for the sake of the next generation to come, but also to cherish the memories of our ancestors. Choose tourism. Choose you in Manila.
So, for the past months, I've learned about the importance of tourism in a country. Tourism industry contribute to the country's gross domestic product and help generate employment. And securing a strong tourism sector for the Philippines is vital to encourage international visitors and investors. And for the Philippines to cope up towards the sustainable tourism, the DOT launched the Save Our Spots campaign, and last April 2018, President Rodrigo Duterte closed the Boracay for 6 months to tourists for its rehabilitation. The Department of Tourism is determined to set the carrying capacity for all destinations and for its rehabilitation.
What's important to the Filipino culture? Well, for me, Filipinos are known for very hospitable, especially to visitors, and I am proud of it. Well, we are emotional and passionate about life in a way that seems more Latin than Asian. And the family is the most important aspect in Filipino culture. To promote it is to show it to others and not just by saying what it is.
Immovable and movable tangible heritage of the Philippines. Immovable heritage consists of buildings, land, and other historically valuable items that are connected by fixed foundations to the ground, while movable heritage is a term used to define any natural or manufactured object of heritage significance. We should protect and preserve immovable and movable tangible heritage in the Philippines because it is a source of identity, and also they remind us where we came from and what has shaped our societies and culture. They give us a sense of who we are as a people. Conserving these remnants of the past ensures that the future generation will also be entitled to enjoy the same appreciation of their heritage.
Culinary heritage is a term that incorporates the origins of food-related activities of a certain society or cultural groups. These are also recipes or dishes that have been handed down from generations to generation. Let's now proceed to its importance. Culinary heritage maintain products, dishes, or practices because of their value as important components of culture. This is also appreciated as possible engine for rural development and growth of tourism. Here are some ways to preserve and promote culinary heritage here in the Philippines. First is conducting culinary tours that will expose the different restaurant that has an old plastic outcomes. Locals should prioritize the heirloom food of the place rather than changing it so that they can teach it to the future generations. Lastly is posting about the authentic local cuisine in social media sites and join in an event like Food Expo. And that are the summaries of the topics discussed this first semester in Heritage Tourism.